Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the stress-free zone. Find a comfortable position. Let your shoulders relax. Take a slow, deep breath in and gently let it go. Now imagine something for a moment. Imagine that every event in your life, every delay, every unexpected turn, every closed door, and every uncertain moment is secretly guiding you towards something better. Imagine that nothing is random. Imagine that even the things that seem confusing today are quietly arranging themselves into a beautiful picture that you cannot fully see yet. How would you feel if you truly believed that everything was working out for you? Not someday, not eventually, but right now. Because today's story is about a simple idea that has the power to transform the way you experience life. The idea that perhaps life is not happening against you. Perhaps life is happening for you. Most people spend their lives fighting reality. They argue with delays. They resist disappointments. They worry when plans change. And they panic when life refuses to follow the script they carefully created in their minds. But what if delays are not punishments? What if they are protection? Think back to your own life. Can you remember a time when something didn't work out? Maybe it was a job you wanted, a relationship you hoped would last, an opportunity you desperately tried to hold on to. At the time, it felt like a loss. It felt unfair. But years later, you realized something remarkable. If that thing had worked out, you might never have found something better. The disappointment that once broke your heart eventually became the reason for your growth. The closed door led you toward a better path. The delay protected you from something you couldn't see. Life often makes sense in reverse. Yet while we're living through uncertainty, we rarely trust the process. We demand answers immediately. We want guarantees. We want proof. But sometimes the greatest act of wisdom is learning to trust before the evidence arrives. Every day, whether we realize it or not, we tell ourselves stories. Some people tell themselves, "Nothing ever works out for me. I'm always unlucky. Life is difficult. Things never go my way." And after repeating these stories long enough, they begin seeing evidence everywhere that appears to support them. Not because the universe is cruel, but because the mind naturally looks for what it expects to find. Imagine two people walking through the same day. One believes life is against them. The other believes life is supporting them. Both experience challenges. Both face unexpected situations. Yet they interpret everything differently. One sees problems. The other sees lessons. One sees obstacles. The other sees opportunities. One sees evidence of failure. The other sees signs of growth. The circumstances may be identical, but the experience is completely different. And often, the results become different too, because our assumptions shape our actions. Our actions shape our outcomes, and our outcomes reinforce our assumptions. It becomes a cycle, a powerful cycle. The question is, what story are you telling yourself today? Trust is not the absence of uncertainty. Trust is remaining calm, even when uncertainty exists. Think about a seed planted beneath the ground. For weeks, nothing appears to happen. No visible evidence, no signs, no proof. Yet beneath the surface, life is already unfolding. Roots are growing. Transformation is taking place. The seed does not dig itself up every morning to check its progress. It simply grows, patiently, quietly, naturally. Many of us approach our dreams differently. We constantly check. We constantly worry. We constantly ask, is it happening yet? Am I there yet? What if it never works? And in doing so, we disturb our own peace. Trust invites a different approach. Trust says, I have planted the seed. Now I allow it to grow. I don't need to force the outcome. I don't need to control every step. I simply keep moving forward. There is incredible freedom in that mindset. Imagine someone who genuinely believes that life supports them. How do they walk? How do they speak? How do they respond to setbacks? They don't panic at every challenge. They don't immediately assume disaster. They don't spend their days preparing for the worst. Instead, they carry a quiet confidence, not arrogance, not blind optimism, just a deep inner knowing that somehow things will work out. And because they expect positive outcomes, they notice opportunities others overlook. They take action when others hesitate. They remain open when others close themselves off. Their expectation changes their behavior, and their behavior changes their life. What if you became that person? What if every morning you reminded yourself, life is supporting me. Things are unfolding in my favor. I may not understand everything right now, but I trust the journey. How different would your days feel? How much lighter would your heart become? Of course, trusting life doesn't mean every moment feels pleasant. There will still be challenges. There will still be disappointments. There will still be unexpected changes. But here's the difference. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin asking, what might this be teaching me? How might this be helping me grow? What opportunity might be hidden inside this experience? These questions shift your energy. They transform suffering into curiosity. They transform resistance into acceptance. And often, acceptance becomes the doorway to peace. The strongest people are not those who avoid hardship. They are those who remain centered during hardship. They trust themselves. They trust life. And they continue moving forward, one step at a time. There's a powerful idea worth exploring. What if you lived today as though everything was already working out? Not because you have proof, not because everything is perfect, but because you choose to trust. How would you show up differently? Would you smile more? They trust themselves. They trust life. And they continue moving forward, one step at a time. There's a powerful idea worth exploring. What if you lived today as though everything was already working out? Not because you have proof, not because everything is perfect, but because you choose to trust. How would you show up differently? Would you smile more? Would you worry less? Would you take the chance you've been postponing? Would you speak more confidently? Would you sleep more peacefully? Living as if doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to let fear become your identity. It means choosing hope over helplessness, faith over panic, possibility over limitation. And when you consistently show up from that place, something fascinating happens. Your mind becomes calmer. Your decisions become wiser. Your energy becomes lighter. And life begins responding differently to the version of you that believes good things are possible. There comes a moment in every person's journey when they stop fighting life. Not because they gave up, but because they finally understood. They realized that peace does not come from controlling every outcome. Peace comes from trusting themselves through every outcome. They stop waiting for certainty. They stop waiting for perfect conditions. They stop waiting for permission. And they begin living fully, openly, confidently, with the quiet belief that life is unfolding exactly as it should. That moment changes everything. Not because the world suddenly becomes perfect, but because they do. Their relationship with life changes. And when that changes, the entire experience changes. So tonight, before you go to sleep, I want you to remember something. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to know every step. You do not need to see the entire path ahead. You only need to take the next step with trust. Trust that life is teaching you. Trust that you are growing. Trust that even the challenges have meaning. Trust that you are stronger than you realize. And most importantly, trust that things may be working out in ways you cannot yet see. Take a deep breath. Let go of the need to control everything. And allow yourself to rest in this simple thought. Life is supporting me. Everything is unfolding at the right time. I am safe. I am guided. And somehow, everything is working out for me. Thank you for spending these moments with me, here in the stress-free zone. If this message touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a little peace today. Until next time, take care of yourself. And remember, the calm you're searching for may already be within you.